Hello everybody and welcome to an update on Winter Storm Tormund. So Winter Storm Tormund is going to bring heavy snow and sleet to the northeast over the next 48 hours. And timing out the storm system with the 12Z run of the HRRR model, it'll begin as mostly rain this morning through the afternoon across much of the northeast in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and New York State, with snow and sleet in the mountainous areas of the Adirondacks, greens and whites of New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire. And as we start going into about 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon, sleet and snow will increase in intensity across New Hampshire, Vermont, into Massachusetts, and the Adirondacks of New York, with some transition over to snow around Erie, Pennsylvania, and southwestern New York State. Going into 5, 6, 7 o'clock, this is when widespread sleet and even freezing rain will begin to fall across central New York, southern Vermont, New Hampshire, western Massachusetts, with snow moving into northern Vermont and northern New Hampshire. And then going into 8, 9, 10 o'clock, very heavy wet snow is going to be falling across the Adirondacks of New York in the southwest or south central areas of Quebec and southeastern Ontario, and moving into Maine, very heavy sleet potential across much of Massachusetts. Going to 11 p.m., 12 a.m., very heavy snow will be falling across Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, heavy sleet potentially into the Boston area, and then going into 1, 2, 3 a.m., very heavy snow will continue across New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, heavy sleet potentially across Boston, Massachusetts, and then going into through the overnight, even into tomorrow morning, heavy snow will continue across New England, and a transition back over to rain, likely for Boston, and the snow will continue through most of the day Thursday across Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and upstate New York, as our low pressure kind of just hangs around. Even into Friday morning, we're still seeing snow across New England. So taking a look at snowfall accumulations over the next 48 hours, this is going to lead to some very impressive snowfall accumulations. We're looking at widespread snowfall accumulations of 1 to 2 feet in northern upstate New York in the Adirondack Mountains, and then across most of the state of Vermont, we're looking at about 1 to 2 feet of snow as well, with isolated areas seeing up to 2.5 feet of snow. Same for western Massachusetts. Looking at New Hampshire, we're looking at widespread 15 to 30 inches of snow across New Hampshire. Could be seeing as much as 4 feet of snow in the White Mountains. And then looking at Maine, central western Maine, looking at about 1 foot to 2 feet of snow as well, and some isolated areas seeing up to 3 feet of snow in western Maine, with about 3 to 6 inches in eastern Maine. And then areas of southern Quebec, looking at about 6 to 12 inches of snow, and areas of southeastern Ontario, about 1 to 1.5 feet of snow as well. So closing off the video with the National Weather Service's watches, warnings, and advisories map, we already have winter storm warnings in effect across most of Maine, all of New Hampshire, most of Vermont, much of upstate New York, and western Massachusetts in the pink areas. Winter weather advisories in the purples across northeast Maine, central New York State, northwest Vermont, northwest Connecticut, southwestern Massachusetts. We have flood watches in much of Pennsylvania, Maryland, Washington, D.C., northern Virginia, and New Jersey for heavy rain with Winter Storm Tormund. Wind advisories in southeast New England, high wind warnings along the coast, and then ongoing blizzard warnings, winter storm warnings, and winter weather advisories across Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. Wind advisories as well across the upper Great Lakes and northern Midwest, portions of the Arklatex, South Carolina, Florida. We got some high wind warnings in central Nevada and northeast Arizona, wind advisories as well. In southeast California, much of Nevada, northwest Arizona, fire weather watches in Colorado, New Mexico, Kansas, as well as Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois. And then we do unfortunately have a tornado watch in effect for central Florida, southeast Georgia, for ongoing severe weather. So thanks for watching today's update on Winter Storm Tormund. Make sure you're preparing for 1 to 2 feet of snow if you live across much of upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Please stay safe and have a wonderful day, my friends.